Gentlemen, you are welcome. Thank you very much for joining us this morning to have this review of the town hall from over the week. So let me start with, let's see now, Professor Anger, if you don't mind. We do note that there has been some very interesting historical background when it comes to the relationship between the communities and authorities in Benue State. So we're asking, how far back does this go, and why does there seem to be that level of distrust in the community or versus the community and authorities?
Well, it's quite clear that even though the government claims to be doing a lot for communities, you know, constitutionally, government is supposed to ensure security of lives and property as the topmost priority. And insofar as Benue State is concerned, and it's really not just Benue State, it looks as if there is a deficit from the side of government in trying to care and secure communities. When people are killed in their sleep, when people are killed on their farms, when livelihoods are threatened, and government does not seem to care so much, people have tended to distrust government. And I think most people are right when they do this, because government collects security votes, government has the security agencies, government is supposed to feed these agencies with information and directives. The agencies are also supposed to feed government with information so that decisions can be taken. When decisions taken don't seem to secure people, when people are staying in IDP camps for more than 10 years and there's no hope of going back, they begin to second guess whether government really is capable of taking care of them. And I think they are right. Government doesn't seem to the average citizen as being capable of handling the situation. In Benue State, for example, the governor has come back clearly to tell the people of the state that the Fulanis who are attacking them are better armed, and there's nothing he can do except if the federal government bans anti-open grazing. And if a governor speaks like that, you have to be sick in the head to trust that type of government.
Professor Anger, I do remember that you spoke at the event and you talked about some of these things. You talked about the almost impossible nature of the war and the solutions the military are giving. But what exactly do you think a truly local solution would be? If the governor can't help it, if he has to wait for the federal government to ban open grazing, what would that local solution be?
Well, the local solution, if it becomes clear that government cannot do anything, is for the people to secure themselves. But it is good to point out very quickly that this is not just a Benue problem. Armed herdsmen are raiding with the use of force in places like Bayelsa, in places like Rivers, in the southeast, in the southwest, in fact, in all parts of the country. So we have a problem that is national. It's not just a Benue problem that needs a Benue solution. It's a Nigerian problem that needs a Nigerian solution. And if government cannot come out clearly to say that anti-open grazing is banned, at least the states that have laws against open grazing should be supported to ensure that no person grazes openly by force and at the expense of human lives and the expense of crop farmers. So yes, we are looking for a local solution, but yes, we must appreciate the fact that we have a national problem. It's not just a Benue thing. It is every part of this country herders are coming in, and they're coming in from outside the country, some of them. And those coming in from outside the country are being supported by governments of the different states to assault people in other states. And we just have to have a national dialogue. Even if you resolve the problem in Benue, how can you resolve the problem in the east? How can you resolve the problem in rivers? How can you resolve the problem in the southwest? And how can you resolve the problem in other parts of the north central? How can you resolve the problem in places like Zamfara?
All right then, Professor. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Professor. Let me come to Dr. Asambe. You are the Director General, Bureau for Livestock and Transboundary Animal Control, Benue State. One major takeaway from this town hall series or meeting in Makurdi was that the core of this conflict of violence is the herders-farmer clash. And a no grazing ban has not resolved the issue. It's somewhat like, Professor has pointed out, these herdsmen have become armed. There's now a proliferation of small arms, and we heard accounts of flamethrowers being used. And so I have to ask the question of how then can organizations like yourself work to solve this issue? Is it documentation for the herders? Is it designated areas for grazing? Is it collaboration between states? How then can they solve it? Because from professors rightfully put, this spreads across the south-south and the southeast and southwest.
Thank you very much. This issue of herders encroaching on farmlands and causing problems, killing people here and there, it's not just a Benue problem, like Professor Gundu has rightly stated. It is a national problem now. It has become, they are becoming a national threat. There's a threat to the national security. So as the Director General of the Bureau of Livestock Development and Transboundary Animal Disease Control, I am working closely with the Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, and we are proposing certain reforms that we expect that the central government, the federal government will be bold enough to strengthen these reforms so that collectively as a nation, we can curb this problem. We are proposing a four point solution to this problem. Number one, we are looking at banning open grazing. Since the federal government created the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, we expect that the next thing that should follow suit was for the president to transmit an executive bill to the National Assembly prohibiting open grazing. And then we are looking at animal traceability and animal identification and traceability system. Because when these issues erupt, there are counter claims from both parties. Farmer says these animals come to encroach on their farms and destroy their farmlands. Herder says their animals have been stolen, they are rusting. So we are proposing a livestock animal identification and traceability system where these animals will be tagged. And if these animals are tagged, we will know their owners, they will be accountable, they will be traced to their owners, tagged to their owners, so that in an event where there is a problem, we will know exactly who owns the animals that are causing problem. As in, if you go to countries with advanced livestock development programs, you will not see any animal roaming the street. We expect that to be replicated in this country. Our people are being killed. You cannot, as a matter of fact, equate animal life to the life of a human being. Number three, we are looking at breed improvement. What is this breed improvement going to solve for us? A breed improvement is such that the animals we have in Nigeria today, the predominant breed of cattle we have here today are the white Fulanese. These white Fulanese, the other name is called Bunaji. If you compare them with other improved breeds of livestock, of these animals, because principally we keep animals for two reasons. Are you with me?
All right.
Principally, we keep animals for two reasons. We keep this cattle for two reasons. It's for beef and for dairy. Even if you compare this...
Doctor, so just a second. We're going to have to put a pin in this conversation, and I do apologize. The reason why is because today is Lagos State's local government elections, and we are still doing live coverage. Very quickly, we'd like to take an update from one of our correspondents who is live in Lagos here. We have Victor Mbadike, our correspondent live, joining us. Victor, well done, and a very good morning to you. I see you outside the electoral office, Lagos State Independent Electoral Office. What's the update there?
Well, good morning, and it's good to see you. Basically, we do have security personnel here, stationed here for, of course, for their services. Very clearly, we do also understand that the Commissioner of Police will be here very shortly. Again, it's already past 8. All materials have been deployed to the 20 local government area, and of course the wards where the elections will take place. In a couple of minutes from now, we should be heading to some of these polling units to get heads up of what is really going on down there. So it's pretty much a smoothless and a seamless process here so far at the last year office here. Some of the security personnel you see here would, of course, head to their stations when giving such orders. But here we have the police officers, we have the DSS here as well, we have the fire service, and then we have every other security personnel you can ever think of. They're all here stationed for some reasons. We also do understand that all of them will not be here basically. I think some of them will move, when there's a need to. But as it is right now, we believe that, the election or processes basically have started. So we will have to head down very quickly down to Surulere to get, heads up in some of these polling units. So it's basically much smoothless and easy process here so far.
Definitely come back to Victor for that update. Victor Mbadike, they are correspondent live at the last year, which is the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, their head office in Yaba, Lagos. So far, we know the materials have been moved and elections will start shortly. We will be bringing you more updates from polling units across the 20 local government areas in Lagos. Now back to the studio here for a conversation with our guest that we have. We have Professor Anger, and we also do have Dr. Asambe. Now, Doctor, before I pass on the baton to my co-host, I wanted to ask you about, you're talking about cross-border cattle movement, and which is basically the major flashpoint. But can we talk about establishing communication protocols in terms of collaboration and traditional institutions? How best can we synchronize these herders? Is it that they need to register before they go into states? There has to be something that they can't just be moving from one spot to another freely. Dr. Asambe.
I was explaining something. Yes, before we went on break, I was on the point of trying to explain that, first of all, we don't even know the owners of the people who owns these animals. So there should be a head count, tagging these animals to their owners and tagging them for the purpose of identification and traceability. If we do that, we will know who is responsible for a particular animal and who are the people who have these animals, because probably the owners of these animals, they are not really the local Fulanese that you see them, or the local herders, because if I mention Fulanese, it will appear profiling the particular ethnic. So the local herders that are out there, because the big men who owns these animals, they are responsible for the insecurity that we are having in this country. So it is very important that we identify these animals and tag them with their respective owners, so that in the case of security breaches, we will know exactly whose animals are responsible for what is bringing insecurity in our areas. And most importantly, certain outdated animal husbandry practices need to be phased out. And this should be a national policy. Since the federal government has agreed that livestock business in this country is constituting a national threat, it is important that the federal government enact a national legislation banning open grazing across all the 36 states of the Federation.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Coming back to Professor Anger. Professor, one rhetoric that continued even at the town hall was the fact that people believe that it's not just a herd or community clash, this is something else. There were words like genocide that were thrown about, and that had been thrown about even before the town hall. I wanted to know what you thought about these claims, whether they are true, whether this was represented properly at the town hall, and what solutions were suggested regarding these conspiracies of outright land grabbing.
Actually, for people who are in Benue and many parts of the country, they are shifting away from the narrative of clashes. They are shifting away from the narrative of clashes. At the town hall, the point was made very powerfully that it is only two elements that are moving that would clash. If you come to my house while I'm sleeping and you murder me, you burn me down, you take your cattle to my farm and you eat up my crops, if you threaten my livelihoods, and you are coming from, you are not a neighbor, you are coming from a distance, we are not clashing, you are attacking men. And of course, if you burn people down, you burn babies, you burn old people, then it is genocide. The claim was also made, particularly by the Mieti Allah person, that people were killing their own cows. People were rustling their own cows. The point is, if it is really rustling, why are they killing children? Why are they killing women? Why are they killing old people? Why are they burning settlements down? And why are they annexing settlements? So when they say it is rustling, it is not the issue. If it is rustling, they will go after the people who are rustling their cows. And a lot of Nigerians also don't know that all this business of cattle rustling came with the Fulani themselves. There is a Fulani group called Odawa. The Odawa were the first people to bear arms in support of the Fulani cause in this country. The Fulani recruited them initially to protect them so that they can herd their cows across the country without any challenges. And then they were not paying them very well. So the Odawa decided to start rustling their cow. Cattle rustling is a very technical business. You can't just, if you don't know the language of the cattle, you cannot rustle them. But I want to go quickly to say certain things which my colleague on the program has alluded to.
I hope you can summarize these points, sir. Please do summarize.
Yes, well, what I want to summarize is whatever challenges, or rather whatever solutions this government is thinking about, if they do not think about how they can disarm the Fulanis, it's not going to work. The average lifespan of an AK-47 is about 50 years. And within this 50 years, it can shoot up to 200,000 people. And the Fulani people are known to have these weapons. They are not licensed. And the number of weapons in their hands can kill every person in this country. It's amazing that the security doesn't realize this. So whatever you think of doing, banning open grazing, trying to improve breeding, if you also do not have a program to mop up the weapons these people are having in their hands, you have not solved any problem. And they know that with these weapons, they can kill anybody. They have killed children, they have killed women, they have killed virtually every person in their way and taken over lands. So it's not just issue of banning and the open grazing. If you ban it, they can still go without the cattle to attack people because it is their land they want to take. So we just move from one problem to the other. And I don't think if we are interested in resolving this problem, we should just go to the roots of it and not just stay on the surface.
Get to the roots of it and not stay at the surface. Dr. Asambe, as we wrap up, your final thoughts. Header farmer crisis. Benue is an agrarian state, the food basket of the nation. Whether this is ethnic cleansing, a land grab, or genocide, one thing is certain: food insecurity is at the core of this. Your final take as we wrap up this segment, sir.
You see, as it is now, the state government is overwhelmed with this issue of insecurity, because these are part of the issues where even the governors forum are agitating for the creation of state police, because the civil protection guards that we have on ground here in Benue, I bet you they are not armed to the level that they can match up with what these herders are carrying around. And it is up to the federal government to take bold steps to disarm these armed herders, as Professor Gundu has rightly stated. This is the way forward. This must happen quickly before we have another cycle that will go beyond what we are having at the moment.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking out the time to join us today. I wish there was enough time for us to go on and have this conversation, but one thing is certain, the buck doesn't end here. We continue to push the ball until something is done in Benue. Many thanks to Professor Zacharys Anger. He is the president of the Chief Professionals Group and Vice Chancellor of the University of Amka in Benue State. We also had Dr. Asambe, who is the Director General, Bureau of Livestock and Transboundary Animal Control, Benue State. Gentlemen, once again, many thanks.